Welcome to WT History. In this series, we list all the major events that happened in the world in a year, starting from 1776 to 2024. On March 3rd, Congress passed a law to split the Mississippi Territory. By August 15th, the eastern half became the Alabama Territory, as Mississippi finalized its constitution. Then, on December 10th, Mississippi was officially admitted as the 20th U.S. state. On April 15th, the American School for the Deaf opened its doors in Hartford, Connecticut, becoming the first permanent school for the deaf in the United States. On April 29th, the Rush-Bagot Treaty was signed between the U.S. and the British Empire, limiting the number of warships allowed on the Great Lakes, helping ease post-war tensions after the War of 1812, and setting the tone for a more peaceful U.S. Canada border. On May 27th, the General Convention of the Episcopal Church, meeting in New York City, founded the General Theological Seminary. This seminary would go on to become a cornerstone of Episcopal education in America. In Rome, New York, construction officially began on the Erie Canal on July 4th, Independence Day. Designed to link the Hudson River to Lake Erie, this massive infrastructure project promised to revolutionize trade by creating a navigable route between the Atlantic Ocean and the Great Lakes. It would slash transportation costs and boost westward expansion past the Appalachian Mountains. On August 26th, the University of Michigan was founded, originally located near the intersection of Bates Street and Congress Street in Detroit. It would grow to become one of the country's premier public universities. On November 3rd, the Bank of Montreal opened its doors in Montreal. On November 20th, the First Seminole War erupted in Florida. This conflict involved U.S. military forces clashing with the Seminole people and would be the first in a series of bloody confrontations in the region. J&J Harper, founded in New York City by brothers James and John Harper, laid the foundations for what would eventually become HarperCollins, one of the world's largest publishing houses. April 3rd brought one of the strangest hoaxes in British history. A mysterious woman appeared in Almondsbury, Gloucestershire, claiming to be Princess Caribou from a faraway island called Javasu. A Portuguese sailor even said he could translate her exotic language, but after a surge of publicity, she was exposed as a servant girl from Devon, her real name, Mary Baker. On June 12th, German inventor Karl Dreiss took the world's first bicycle, or as he called it, the Dreisine, for a spin through Mannheim. Though it had no pedals, it was the first step toward the modern bicycle. Just a month later, on July 10th, British scientist David Brewster patented the kaleidoscope, capturing the beauty of symmetrical patterns through reflected light. It quickly became a fashionable toy and scientific curiosity. Then on July 18th, the literary world suffered a great loss. Jane Austen, author of beloved novels like Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility, passed away in Winchester at the age of 41. Later that year, her brother Henry Austen wrote a biographical note revealing for the first time that she was the true author behind those famous books. On August 23rd, an earthquake struck near the site of the ancient Greek city of Helike, claiming 65 lives. The region, steeped in history, had long been prone to seismic activity. On October 9th, the University of Ghent opened its doors in Belgium. It would grow to become one of the major universities in Europe, known for its research and innovation. On November 6th, Britain was plunged into mourning. Princess Charlotte of Wales, daughter of the Prince Regent and granddaughter of King George III, tragically died just hours after giving birth to a stillborn son. Her death devastated the public and left the royal succession uncertain. Meanwhile, a deadly typhus epidemic broke out in Edinburgh and Glasgow, spreading quickly through overcrowded neighborhoods and claiming many lives during the harsh winter months. Before moving on, please consider subscribing if you like the series. On January 1st, explorer Otto von Kotzebue was sailing through the Sandwich Islands, what we now know as Hawaii, when he stumbled upon a previously uncharted piece of land, which he named New Year Island. Then, on January 19th, a bold campaign for independence began. General José de San Martín led over 5,000 soldiers across the towering Andes Mountains, setting out from Argentina to liberate Chile and later Peru. Back in Calcutta on January 20th, Indian reformer Ram Mohan Roy and Scottish educator David Hare co-founded Hindu College. This was a revolutionary moment in education, offering instruction in English and Western sciences to Indian students. February 12th, at the Battle of Chacabuco, joint Argentine and Chilean forces defeated Spanish royalist troops in what is now Chile, paving the way for independence from Spain. On March 21st, the Pernambucan revolt in Brazil gained spiritual momentum. A flag representing the movement was publicly blessed by the Dean of Recife Cathedral, a symbolic gesture of defiance against Portuguese rule. On June 22nd, a royal decree from King Ferdinand VII of Spain legalized the production and sale of tobacco in Cuba, and just like that, the legendary Cuban cigar industry was born. On July 4th, Argentina's Santiago del Estero province was rocked by a devastating 7.0 magnitude earthquake. Though little known today, it left a lasting mark on the region. By August 22nd, the town of Araraquara in Brazil was officially founded, a small moment that would grow into a vibrant city in the years to come. On September 11th, the Great Rebellion of 1817 to 1818 erupted in Sri Lanka. A nationalist uprising against British colonial rule, it marked one of the first large-scale resistances in the region. On October 17th, in Bombay, the British Royal Navy launched the HMS Trincomalee, a frigate that would sail across centuries. Amazingly, she still floats today, more than 200 years later. On October 30th, Simón Bolívar and his allies declared an independent government in Venezuela. It was another giant step toward liberating South America from European control. And on October 31st, far across the world in Japan, Emperor Ninko officially ascended to the throne, beginning a reign that would last nearly 2 decades. November 5th marked the beginning of the Third Anglo-Maratha War, with the Battle of Khadki. This conflict would eventually bring large parts of India under British control, signaling the end of Maratha sovereignty. On November 22nd, French explorer Frédéric Caillot made a dazzling discovery: the long-lost Roman emerald mines at Sikate, Egypt. These ancient mines hadn't been used for centuries. Tragically, this same year also saw the beginning of the first cholera pandemic, which originated in Bengal and reached Calcutta by September. It would soon sweep across Asia, Europe, and the rest of the world, leaving devastation in its wake. If you enjoyed this trip through time, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a year in history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.